call the board meeting of Goal High School to order January 28, 2025. Meeting called to order. May I have a roll call?
Lisa Silver. Drace Walker.
Present.
CJ Renaud.
Aye. Present.
Luis Contreras. Mark Maryak.
Here.
Ted Del Duca.
I am here.
Quorum is established.
Great, thank you. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Flag's over here. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Next up, I would like us to, as a group, to read our mission and our vision. Our mission: to
develop productive members of society.
Our vision:
helping all students achieve their full potential in a caring, supportive, and personalized environment.
That's what we do. That's what we do here. Next up, you have before you tonight's agenda. I need a motion to approve tonight's agenda as presented.
So moved.
We have a second.
Second, Drake.
Call for that vote.
Drace Walker.
Aye.
CJ Renaud.
Aye.
Mark Maryak.
Aye.
Ted Del Duca.
Aye.
Motion is carried.
Great. Good news. Carl York, are you here for good news?
I am.
And what do you got? Thanks for coming down, by the way.
Lots of
Always good to see you.
Lots of good stuff. So we do have a video, and we'll get that started here in just a bit. I was just going to go ahead and lead with our count data, because that's always exciting over in the Springs. This year we actually enrolled 1,487 students. We counted 1,463 of those students, and we graduated 23 of them already here in the first quarter.
Wow. Congratulations.
We had increased enrollments, and this is for you guys to know because these were places that we moved kind of out of obscurity and into like the public face. Chapel had an enrollment of 340, so before when we were in the bottom of the basement kind of area of the Chapel Hills Mall, and then they of course changed their hours to where we could only have students come in at 11 a.m. They went from 145 to 340 this year. Fountain, we took them out of a little obscure place that didn't have a monument sign, had a lot of trees around it, so you didn't really know that we were actually back there. We moved it to where it was right in the public face, right next to Walmart, an old Payless shoe source, and you guys also helped us to be able to extend that into the next room, which was an old church, and that went from being about 115 to 260 this year. And then Falcon, we were able to move out of the obscurity of being in the Patriot High School to right out in front there on a nice corner right next to Safeway, and we've went from about 100 to 160 already this year. We don't even have our signs up. So I'm projecting that we'll be like in the 200s next year already for Falcon. So massive gains again this year in the Springs. Returning students, we got 84.8 of those students to actually come back. Beginning of year STAR testing, our region was at 98.5, and Citadel had 525 students this year, and they got 99% of those students to actually test in the beginning of the year STAR. Show Up, Connect, and Succeed. We were at 96.5% for Show Up, 66.8% for Connect, and our Succeed rate was all-time high, 65.3 for this first quarter. So we are definitely on our way to hitting 60% pass rates for the year, which would be about another 8% increase from what we increased. We had like about an 8 or 12% increase from last year. So just continuing to increase more and more, get more students across the line and getting them passed. We also became a Capturing Kids' Hearts Showcase School. For last year, we earned that. And I guess it probably trails into this year. And then best workplaces in the Springs, once again. We just got notified here for the 2025 year, so I think that's 4 or 5 years straight now that we've had that. And then some big things that are going to be happening here in November for us is and it's kind of hitting perfectly with kind of what's going on with the government shutdown and kind of SNAP benefits. Colorado, I think they tried to do their best to hold on, but it sounds like November 1st is going to be the date that also ends for folks. But we will be doing a Clothes for Kids resource fair here November 15th for Citadel Mall. And with that, if we could go ahead and play our video, and it's just different events and things like that we've done this year so far. And that's it.
That's it?
Awesome. I guess the other thing I could point out is the amount of stuff that we've done with the chamber this year. We actually went to the state of the city. We'll go to the state of the county and also the state of, I think, commissioners to do one as well. But we've been attending all those. We go to breakfast and business cards every single time. I think we've done that 4 or 5 times this year just to get our name out even that much more. The things with Halloween coming up and things of that nature, we've done 3 of those different activities of the trunk or treats. So we just have a lot of staff that is really getting into doing a lot of community stuff for goal, and we're getting a ton of the goal footballs and frisbees and different things like that out to the community. So probably 25% of all the Springs little tykes probably are packing one of those, and so goals probably high school is sitting around in their house somewhere.
Cool. Do they talk much about education in any of these forums?
Yes, they actually give us So, like the breakfast and business cards, we actually get a 30-second elevator speech every time to be able to tell people about goal. We did go to the Economic Forum with UCCS that they put on this year, and they did speak about education there, but it was mostly about like just things like getting the job force ready in Colorado Springs for things to come up in the future. So it was a lot of like Pikes Peak State College, UCCS, and folks like that were talking about that.
Yeah, I normally go to that one. I had to miss this year because
Yep.
I was on vacation, so to speak, but I'm normally at that one, yeah. Okay, great. Any questions? Other questions, I guess. Okay, you're off the hook, and what is that noise?
I have no idea.
Somebody's phone.
Phone feedback,
All right, thank
Okay.
you.
maybe?
Great. We don't have a strategic plan update tonight, nor do we have any board meeting training. But next up, we have officers report, and first up is our chief academic officer. And here he is. Is this your first time?
It is my first time. Thanks here
Well,
for.
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. There's a lot of people watching. We'll certainly correct you on anything you do wrong.
Well, that's good. See, you started off great because I'm here to report to let you know that the very first number on the very first board report
Oh my
I'm giving
God.
you is wrong. So I'm starting that off with a bang, aren't I?
Let's make a note of that.
Just start off low and it only gets better from here. No, so thanks to James for the board to visit today. You've got the board report here in front of you, and actually where we are, the first number are potential enrollments. We actually landed at 6989 right now is a number, so 6,989, 142 higher than that number, just over like 101% of where we're supposed to be. So just didn't get that one updated, I realized as I was sitting there. So that's good news. We'll miss some of those because of duplicate reports and some other things, but we should be comfortably above our 6924 enrollment goal when it's all said and done. Again, return rate at 82.6 and our AEC rate at 95, well within the rates we needed to reach accountability, keeping our AEC status, and the other one. So those both sit right in line with where we've been in the past. We have our quarter one results that popped in. Quarter two is not quite up to speed enough to even bother giving you that number, but we'll have that in November. So final results for quarter one, our show up was 97.3. You'll see that's down 0.5% from last year, but that's really kind of incremental. We did a few changes with how we did attendance for kids coming in, right, and as they started, but that's pretty much where we were last year. Connect rate, our kids working, is up about 5% to 67% from last year. So we're continuing to, I think, get kids and keeping them engaged further. And our pass rate went to 66.1, which is our best quarter one we've had, and about 2% higher than last year. So again, the rates continue to grow. I think just our systems are in place better, and our staff are, I think, trained and just more ready to go from the beginning and keep kids going. So rates there are solid. The rest of these, semester one concurrent enrollment, we're at 421. The -4 just shows 4 down from last time. We had a few kids drop there. But I did have one cool college enrollment, a CCE note that came in today. Denver, one of our regions, went last year from 7 students, and they just get 34 enrollments with concurrent enrollment. So a massive jump there in Denver. That 421 is highly concentrated in some of our sites and some of our locations that take more advantage of that, and we're starting to see some of those other locations as they're getting stable with their show-up rates, their base rates, they're starting to look more into these possibilities like concurrent. So I definitely expect to see that grow more, and again, Denver did a great job and should be pretty proud of themselves up there. We had 2 students enrollment. We're down to 1. One of them had to drop out. We do still have 1 student enrollment. Our work-based learning, we added 21 kids from the last report that they had pulled in, so we have 161 now active in the WEL program. And really, that's all the rates we have up to this point. The rest of our rates will show up there. By next one, I should be able to start giving you grad reports from grad numbers from our quarter one grads, as well as work key certificates by the November report. So, other than my initial error, that's what I have. Do you have any questions for me?
Anybody have any questions? Oh, we can't let him off the hook this easy. It's first time through. All right, apparently not. Apparently you did a good job the first time through.
It'll get harder as it gets further
next
along.
time.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it. Everything's looking good. Okay. Next up, our Chief Finance Officer.
Good evening, Mr. President and members of the board. I do not have any changing numbers to report.
I'll throw him under the bus.
The good news is my numbers don't have legs and they don't move on their own, so I'll give you that. Jamie's do, but. Okay, so I have all the killed trees in our packets tonight. Starting off with the 24-25 audit summary. I did include the full audit in your packets. I'm not going to go through that, but the audit summary kind of highlights some of our key takeaways from last year. So I would like to jump right into the balance sheet, Miss Jerry.
So that being said, the audit's all good.
That being said, the audit is good. They did give us a clean audit opinion.
That's the important.
The unmodified opinion that everything is fairly presented in terms with GAAP. So in that, I am glad you pointed that out. I got a little carried away. In addition to the full final 24-25 audited financials, there is also a board of directors letter in there and an internal control letter in there that just basically says that our internal control structure is functioning effectively for all the financial reporting purposes. And then the board letter kind of just describes what they did in the audit and our interactions with them. All very positive, all to say that the audit went very well. Okay, so now jumping to the balance sheet. We ended this first quarter ending September with total current assets of $36.2 million. The only other thing that I really wanted to highlight on the balance sheet was that our AP accrual account is pretty close to $1 million, which is about the highest that it's ever been recently. And that was due to a really large shipment of student computers that we received in September, but we did not pay that bill until October. So that was $858,000 that we had to accrue back into the month of September. We really needed those student computers. Really happy to report that that has been taken care of. The only other thing I wanted to point out on here was the Tabor Reserve. We did talk about that last month as a result of our audit and where we ended 24-25. We did increase that reserve amount to 2.35. And then our current year net change is still positive at 2.695. Our revenues exceeding our expenditures. Other than that, it was a fairly straightforward month. So we can move on to the statement of change in fund balance. Again, not much to point out here. On line 9, year-to-date total revenue is at close to 22.5, which is right in line with where we are in the year. We should have 75% of our budget remaining, and on that we do, even though D49 is still funding our PPR at last year's count of 6683.5, and hopefully we'll see that shift soon. On page 2 of this statement, line 26, other professional services, I wanted to point this out because there is a large credit sitting in that expense item, and that was due to some money that we did have to give legs and make move that belonged in the licensing line versus the other professional services line. Nothing out of ordinary there, it just got put in the wrong place. On the third page of this report is where I wanted to point out a couple things. We spent some good money in the 700s category of this statement. The first item is line 82. Other furniture. Just kidding. Furniture. So we did get our new furniture for our new rifle site. Those are nice looking sites now. We also added a lot of furniture for the Cortez Innovation Project. That is an outdoor learning area. Same kind of with line 84, leasehold improvements, ran really high this month, again with the improvements that we made to the rifle site and the Falcon site that Kyle mentioned, bringing those online. Both look great. And then last but not least, the HVAC project at Aurora Mall. We really spent some good money in the tech purchase category here. The computers I referenced for the students, in addition to some esports machines and a few staff computers. So overall, we did end the month of September in a negative position, but year-to-date, we still are at 2.695 for that first quarter. So feel pretty good about that. Our outlook for the second quarter, we have a lot coming still in October. The payment for the remodel, we did send that in October. We do have some vehicle purchases we need to make here shortly. Starting to see some of those concurrent enrollment bills trickle in. As Jason mentioned, we got a lot of kids participating in concurrent enrollment. And we are working on the revised budget. So we just heard Jason mention 6989. We are tentatively budgeting at 6950 to be conservative at our PPR of 11,185. Leaving the $4 million reserve in that was in the adopted budget with some modifications to the grants that deviated from what the adopted budget was, we will have a revised budget increase of about $3.5 million. So that will be coming next month, which is in a couple short weeks. We have a very short turnaround until our next meeting. Any questions on any of those? The audit, the change in fund balance, or the balance sheet?
Not hearing any.
Thank you very much.
Right. This stuff here, sorry. Oh, I got out all over here. Next up is our Chief Executive Officer, Jill. What do you have for us this evening?
Yes. Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board. Don't have too much this evening for you all. Jason and Bree both covered fairly well our enrollment numbers, so great job on that, guys. We're trending well. We do think we will definitely exceed the 6924 that we set as our stretch goal. Definitely exceed the 6750 that we set as our budget. So we are going to definitely see a difference in the budget as we work through that revised budget. Like Bree said, we're going to shoot for that 6950 for the first draft of this revised budget you will see in November. Also, hopefully we will get some solid count numbers. Usually we do receive those by about the second week of November as we work through duplicate lists. We of course want to give a huge thank you to Ms. Carla Ash for working through that duplicate list. There were about 90 students on that list. Many of them Carla has been able to clear, so schools have released them because Goal had the data to provide that they are actually Goal students. She is still working through that list, and so hopefully, like I said, by that second week of November, when we come back to the next board meeting, we will have a solid funded number for you all. We are serving quite a few Ascent students this year, which are counting towards those numbers. We have 31 full-time Ascent and 6 part-time Ascent. I do think it's definitely worth mentioning that this is the last year that we will serve Ascent students, as the state has made the decision to no longer fund Ascent. And remember, Ascent is a 5th-year senior that is elected to stay after reaching their graduation requirements after 4 years. They have to have graduated in 4 traditional years, and they have to have already earned 12 college credits to be eligible for Ascent. So we do have quite a few students that at least took advantage of this program in the last year in which it's being provided by the state. And then we are serving, of course, around 80 or so students that are unfunded that are over the age of 21. So I definitely think it is safe to say we will serve over 7,000 kids throughout this school year for sure. So Not sure how many will be funded, more to come on that. And then CEO transition, I just wanted to, of course, thank the board for entrusting me as your new CEO. As we all know, Dr. Jones did depart at the beginning of October, so thank you guys for welcoming me into this position at my first board meeting. The last few weeks have been great, really working with all of our directors and, of course, our fellow officers to just learn a little bit more about some of the parts of goal that I didn't have as much active participation in as the CAO. So really getting to learn some of the other departments and how those departments are working, and just really taking a look at, what do we want to keep doing, what do we want to stop doing, and what do we want to start doing in those departments. So hopefully more updates to come as I spend a little bit more time doing that over the next, roughly month to 2 months to kind of get with those departments and learn a little bit more. And that is all I have tonight, unless the board has any questions for me.
Any questions? I do have a comment. I think, Jill and I, we've had several just kind of encounters, so to speak, so, and they went really well, and I think we're real comfortable with one another, 100% from my side anyway.
Absolutely.
I'm sure the rest of the board feels the same way, and, if whatever you need, just let us know, and let's just keep it at that level, and I think it's kind of cool, yeah. Because I know when I first became president, Dr. Jones, there was, who is this guy? He doesn't know anything, and there's like, who's this Ted guy? But I think we've known each other for a while, and you certainly know my strengths and weaknesses, and we're able to talk very candidly about things and that kind of a thing. So that's how it's supposed to work, and it's pretty special. So we're not going to let anybody mess that up for sure. That's our thing. So
yeah, I'll have to say for the new CEO, you have a pretty good working knowledge of Goal High School.
Yeah, she knows a couple of things.
Yes.
Yeah. And you probably knew some of the stuff anyway, just by being here and everything.
Definitely. Yeah.
It's not like we said, oh yeah, by the way, we have this department. You're like, well, what is that department?
No,
Who is that?
no, just learning more of the inner workings, things that before I didn't need to involve myself in, and now I do. So I think it's going really well. I've had a lot of great conversations with other officers and with various directors, and so it's been a great few weeks, just kind of being able to learn a little bit more even about goal that I didn't know, which has been great. So. And
I think you've kept it you're kind of really kept it at a pretty high level. You haven't dived into anything that's like.
No.
You've stayed out of the weeds, so to speak. That's why you got the rest of us, or everybody else. Anyway, I guess we probably should have done something for her first board meeting, but I didn't even think about it.
No
We'll save it for the last one.
No.
That might be next month.
Thank you, yeah.
Anyway, thanks, Jill. Anything else?
Thank you, guys. Nope, that was all for me.
Okay, next up is a Chief Building Officer.
His new assigned title.
I thought it was Chief Building Guy. President, members of the board, I got to say I love the beard collection we all have going in this room right now. And Mr. Vice President, that's not something I've ever seen.
Before we get into that,
right?
Is the No Shave November, are you guys jump starting that, or what's going on?
I think a lot of us do. A lot of us do participate in that. I think Tom's team has something that they do with that.
Who's participating?
Just you. Naturally.
Because I didn't know what to do. Okay, because I actually. There's no shade. There's the beard dude.
Oh.
Hey, look at that.
Dustin is in.
Look at this.
He's in.
The collection of beards looks amazing.
You can't compete with Dustin.
No, I can't. Dustin concentrates and grows facial hair. It's pretty amazing.
He's putting some real chemical or something on.
Well, thank you. Yeah, right.
Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's okay. This is important. This is a very important thing we're doing here. So, wanted to share progress on the buildings with the board tonight. Kind of tell you some milestones that we've reached in construction of the new admin complex, and we've got some show and tell as well. After the fact, kind of show you some of the progress that we made up to this point, which is actually already outdated because they've made major progress since we actually did do some of the pictures on this. So major milestones. So building 1, framing is already underway and almost complete in building 1 now. Demolition, of course, already complete there. Building 2, permit was pulled on that about a week and a half ago, and demolition is already halfway done on building 2. We do have one issue with the lot lines between Building 1 and Building 2, which is going to require a third permit, unfortunately, for the covered walkway between Buildings 1 and 2. No matter, really doesn't stop us from what we need to do in the main buildings themselves. We just know the walkway is going to come a little later than we kind of originally thought. So, but otherwise, we also just completed the RFP for all audio-visual services in the convention space, the training center itself, as well as all cabling and fiber optics for the complex as well. So Dustin helped me draft a contract on that, so we'll be having a kickoff there now that the walls are open and the framing is done. That is through DHE Computer Systems won the bid. They are contracting with local Pueblo companies, Pueblo Electrics and Pro AV will be actually doing that work for us. DHE is our prime contractor on that work. So loved their bid to keep it local. We do appreciate that.
Yeah.
And we're going to get that kick-started next week. We'll begin that process. So while the walls are down, now's the time to run all the cabling that we need to run through the building. So otherwise, now that the walls are down, yes.
Run all the cabling.
Walls are not up yet. Yes, walls are not up yet. Frame is up, walls are not.
Yes.
So, but it looks pretty good. We're pretty happy with how it's going. We have hired a new facilities maintenance manager who is taking a lot off my plate now, so I can go back to doing the tech thing that I do and not being the chief building guy anymore. So I'm very happy about that part. Yes, I'm very happy about that. With that, Mark, would you run the video for us, please? So we'll talk through this a little bit and kind of show you kind of what it is. So you all remember from our original walkthrough, that is the original look of Building 1 when it was still the Rocky Mountain Ice Center. And kind of the way it was really kind of hard to see the design that we had envisioned for this. It's kind of difficult to think fourth dimensionally when the walls are currently up. So once they come down and you kind of see after demolition, you can really see how things really start to fit together. So that's a good before look, and kudos to Mark and Mike for really getting a lot of that video for us. That is the CEO's office right there. That's Jill's office today. And it doesn't look anything like that now. And that is the eastern corridor looking back toward the human resources offices. And this, of course, is walking back up toward the front of the building. Doesn't look anything like this now. And now, this is kind of where we're at today. The whole inside of Building 1 has been demolished, with some walls remaining in some of the original exam areas where the offices are going to be located. And again, this is already out of date. All of the work that you see now, all the framing has been completed in Building 1. So all of this area here, that's the main collaboration area, all of that frame is not, you don't see that in this now, but all the frame for that is all complete. That is
the kitchen.
That's the kitchen. Thank you, Jill. It's hard to see it from this side.
Yeah.
So cafe area and some of the other office areas that are going now. So quite a difference in the short period of time that we've been doing the work on the
That's
building.
the front
Quite a
area.
difference. Yep, that is the
That,
convention
like, big
space
work.
where the counter
Yeah.
and all the eyeglass stations were. Yeah, that's where that was. So anyway, that's our update for now. There'll be more to follow on this as we kind of really get ramped on construction. We have a Thursday meeting that the officers attend every Thursday at 1 o'clock at the building. You're always welcome to join that meeting if anyone would like to stop by and kind of see where things are. You do need to bring a hard hat. I don't know if we have any extras left or not.
I can buy more if we need some.
Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to get a few on stock. You do have to have a hard hat and closed-toed shoes to walk through the active construction site. But you're always welcome at any time out there, Thursday at 1 o'clock. With that, any questions? Happy to answer them. Anything I missed?
No, I think you covered it, Jamie.
Okay.
Yeah, happy to answer any questions that you all may have about the progress on Building 1 and Building 2.
Sounds good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it. Any board member reports? Anybody do anything?
I have
with
a
that?
couple things.
Oh, wait.
A couple things I want to bring up, and I have been very hesitant to mention this, but this is not a revenue-generating thing for my company. I'm meeting with Chato Hazel Baker, with the mayor, Brian McCain, Chato Hazel Baker, and about middle of December, our old contract is going to die, and we're running the new contract now. The reason that's important is because some of the constraints that wouldn't allow us to do other things in that facility are going away with the old contract. So what we're talking about is an aviation maintenance technician school. Not primarily at my facility, but through PCC. Yeah. And so the natural progression of that is D60, D70, go to high school, concurrent enrollment kind of stuff. A lot of youth in this community, they like auto mechanics and stuff like that. This is very, very similar, and it pays more money. So more to come on that, but that is coming, and I need somebody to watch my back and make sure that we collectively don't forget about that opportunity for our students. The other one, a lot of you remember Mark Hyatt, Falcon Aero Lab. I talked to him. I'm woefully behind on moving this thing forward, but he is interested in coming down for one of our board meetings and reminding us what Falcon Aero Lab does. Interesting note, talking to him, one of their best pilot students they've had in the history of the program was a Goal High School student. So I don't know what the feeling is on that. I'd like to know how interested that this team is in having Mark come down and update us on what Falcon Aero
We would
is
love
doing.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will reach out to him.
Just, get a hold of.
I'll let you know. Realistically, that next board meeting is pretty quick, so I'm thinking maybe the one after that. Okay, I got that one.
That's a pretty good board member report right there. That's a pretty good one. It's gonna be tough to
Keeping my hands in as many things as
Yeah, there you go. Keep your hand.
It hadn't killed me yet, so
Great.
I must be getting stronger. That's right. Lost my razor.
So we're going to need to approve the consent agenda from last month, which were the minutes, the finances, and the audited financial statements. Need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Need a second.
Second.
Thank you. Call for that vote.
Trace Walker,
Yay.
CJ Renard,
Aye.
Mark Maryak,
Aye.
Ted Del Duca.
Aye.
Motion is carried.
Great. There's no action items, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Nothing to vote on tonight.
We do have informational updates.
We do.
School Accountability Committee update. Wendy? Hi, Wendy.
Good afternoon, Mr. Board President,
How are you?
and members. I'm good, and yourself?
Good. What do you got?
Good. Well, I have some notes attached to what you're looking at right now, which is just kind of our goals and objectives of the committee. So really quickly, the primary objectives are the committee will inform stakeholders and communities that we serve as a school performance status as a performance school, yay for being a performance school, and work to provide those input strategies to improve appropriate instruction to students and increase student outcomes. In addition, we'll also communicate with communities that we serve on school financing and how priorities are set on the school budget. And lastly, the committee will inform stakeholders and communities that we serve on progress of the strategic plan through the work of the pillars. And the goals that we have are public posting of the agendas, which we did have a meeting today, and that agenda is posted, so we are in compliance there. And then providing opportunities for input through quarterly meetings and surveys. We have the meetings, we're lacking in the survey, so I'll speak to that focus for this year in a little bit, and then also providing ongoing and continuous updates on the pillar work outlined in our strategic plan. Today at our meeting, I did invite our new CEO, Jason, to share his vision, as I felt this was a needed piece for our SAC as we transition with new executive leadership. That said, Jason uses a really great blind man and elephant analogy. I don't know if he's ever shared that with you. If not, you should ask him about that. But he did challenge all of the SAC committee to kind of take that analogy out into their site. So if we're not careful, Goal might have a new mascot of an elephant wearing a gladiator mask. I don't really know. Anyway, it's a really great analogy, and I appreciate his insight and sharing that with us. Excuse me. So our focus areas this year really are to continue to be in alignment and in compliance with the bylaws. The last couple of years, I've really dug into the bylaws, and there's a lot in there to bring us into compliance with that. And I stumbled across an area that I felt was in need of improvement. So each year during the first SAC meeting, we've traditionally done either elections or re-elections of the officers for SAC. However, when looking at the bylaws, it kind of clearly states that you're a member and you're a part of this committee unless you resign. So I had that conversation with Carla, and then I took it to the team for a vote. And so going forward, we have determined as a SAC committee that we will follow what is in the bylaws. So therefore, myself will remain as co-chair, Alan will remain as, myself will be chair, Alan will be co-chair, and then Tracy Woodson will be our secretary, and then Kyle remains as our DAC representative. And so some action items that we really need to work on to make sure that we're maintaining those goals and compliance within the SAC is really develop that survey for feedback from the SAC committee and then pushing it out to the larger teams across the state. And then also we need to work to invite community members to join the SAC committee because that is a needed spot that we do not currently have. According to the bylaws, we do need a community member that does not have a student at goal. So I do have some options for that. And then lastly, I would like to formally invite any board member to join our school accountability committee. And if you're interested, please feel free to reach out to me and I will include you all things school accountability committee. And that's really all I have today.
Well, we certainly can nominate somebody who's not here on the board. I'm thinking Lisa. Call Lisa, tell her she volunteered for that committee.
It's just an invitation, not a requirement.
Don't tell her that. Oh, God. Any questions? Carla, they keep bringing up your name as a point of thing in this. Is everything they say okay? Because I see you're on as always. That's a. She's not. Oh, busted. Anyway.
Anybody signed up for public? Oh, I'm sorry. We have a forum update, Forum 2026.
I know, 2026, which is kind of crazy that the year 2026 is just really literally around the corner. And we're already to the end of October.
Like 2 months away.
I know. I don't know where 25 went, to be real honest. So the fact that we're talking about 26. So we did want to make an announcement that after reviewing a lot of feedback from staff and reviewing how our 25 forum, of course, had great reviews on activities, but we still continued to get some feedback around our location. And then also when reaching back out to the Pueblo Event Center, we learned that our traditional forum dates weren't available. And so the forum team and forum committee got busy, and we are happy to announce that we have secured a new location for Forum 2026. So Forum 2026 will take place at the Omni Interlocken, which is located in Broomfield, Colorado, and it will take place on July 28th and 29th, which is a Tuesday and Wednesday, which will allow staff to still travel on a Monday to Forum and then travel home on a Thursday versus a Friday, and then they'll be able to be back in their sites for a working day on Friday when they do have that far travel. One of the reasons that we went with the Omni Interlocken is that it does have larger space for breakout sessions, and they also were willing to sell us out their whole hotel. So we will have 380 rooms under the same roof, which will be amazing. That won't be quite enough, but they also have a hotel that they work closely with, where we do believe instead of working with about 6 or 7 hotels, I believe, that we worked with here in Pueblo, it will get us down to working with only 2 hotels, and they do a busing from the other partner hotel we will use for some of the extra rooms to the Omni. So that should really help alleviate a lot of the driving that staff was having to do around Pueblo, and have that busing as an availability if they would like it. It also has amazing parking at the Omni, so no more parking garages like we had to use here in Pueblo. So just really hoping that staff will be excited to experience the amazing things we offer at Forum, but in a new location. So we hope that our board will be able to join us for forum dates. So giving you a heads up now in October for July 28th and 29th, located in Broomfield, Colorado at the Omni. So
I believe our board meeting is on the 28th.
Oh, well, that's just a great reason to get you all there for Forum, isn't it?
You got it. Funny how they do these things.
It wasn't even planned, so.
Oh,
Awesome.
Who said
CJ
that?
said she's in. Thank you, CJ.
They got a great golf course.
This is true. This is true. They do have a golf course on property. We do usually, I don't know if you know this, CJ, but we do usually host a golf tournament the day before Forum. So I don't know if we'll do that, but if we do, we'll let you know since you're interested in golfing.
I'm all in.
All right.
I'm all in.
And that's our updates for Forum announcements.
Great, that's a biggie. Just to comment, I think it's a really important thing to get us all together like that once a year, and I think
Absolutely.
I think that'll be highly successful. Yeah, everybody does a great job on that. So, okay, great. Do we have any signed up for public comment?
We do not.
Okay. Our next board meeting is November 18th here at the Jerald G. Gatlin Boardroom or on Microsoft's virtual meeting at 4:30. Great. We do not have any executive session
We do not, Mr. President.
unless Dustin ruins that for us right this second, which put him on mute so he can't say anything. Oh, there he is. There he is. Although, thanks for joining it with us, Dustin.
Absolutely.
It's good to be here. I have all the good news.
I'm sorry, I was just reading this note under adjournment. Anyway, at that thing, I'd like to do my executive privilege and adjourn this meeting. Meeting adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you all.
See you guys.
Thanks.